Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm going to talk about the business consulting side of what I do. A lot of you don't know what I do, and kind of the businesses I've had in the past. So a lot of you guys know, 2000, I had the bright idea that I was going to buy a company that I had no idea their financial status, their basically viability. I knew nothing about it other than it had been around a long time. It was not a money maker, but the reason I wanted this business was because I was working so much and I wanted to train for triathlon that I thought this would be my window to have more time. I could not have been more wrong on that side of it. When you own your own company, you will work way more than you did when you work for somebody else. There's a lot more stress involved. And so I discovered years later that I'm more of an entrepreneur than I'm actually a business owner. I've owned a rag company, I've owned an insurance company, I've owned a training company, and it was all just horrible. And so they weren't common products, you know, and it was really just difficult. And I kind of fell into this spiral of I don't know what I'm doing in the business world. And then I realized that I did accidentally. And so you guys know I had this old Suburban, and I needed to have my front end rebuilt, basically. It was gonna be like $2,000. And I somehow convinced the area manager of Pep Boys to let me consult them, and in return, them rebuild my Suburban. And so I basically went through there, and if you guys had ever been to Pep Boys years ago, you walked into the showroom, and there was all this stuff you could look at, floor mats, things like that. And if you were like me, I would look at these things I used to buy for my old car in high school, right? And think how cool it was. It was nostalgia. But I didn't ever buy anything, maybe a few things here and there. So I basically made this report for them, and I said, you know, here's what I would change with your company, right? They're a major company. All I cared about was giving my 2 cents, getting my Suburban rebuilt. And so I basically said, you know, when it comes to the business like this, you're in the service business, but you're also in retail. When it comes to retail, you should have a value of all of your square footage, right? So you should be able to break down what your retail is and then how much you are making from that spot. And I was like, I don't know how much you guys actually sell of all this stuff. I don't need your numbers. I imagine it's a little bit. And I gave that report, and I thought, well, they got my Suburban fixed. They're not going to ever, you know, probably do what I said. And it was about 3 months later, I was in a Pep Boys, and all that stuff was gone. And actually, I like to think they took advisement of what I said. And they're a very large company. They own a lot of other auto industry niches, I guess. And now you'll see an AutoZone in one and a Dollar General in another. So they actually have now took all that space, and they don't sell anything like that in there anymore. I thought, wow, that's incredible. And so that's how I kind of stumbled into this. I like to say Forrest Gump my way into it, because I can just look at it, not worrying about whether you're going to like what I have to say. This is just my 2 cents. And now I've been able to make a pretty good living doing that with any kind of company. I've gone into a dental office before. I don't know anything about dentistry, right? But it's people and service, and it's kind of common sense, you know, in my head. And so the other things I've gotten into were like construction companies. I didn't really know anything about construction, but they're selling a service, and they've got, you know, the cost of the product, the markup, all this stuff, but it comes down to, you know, how can you get paid in a timely manner? How can you speed up the service? And it's kind of easy to clean up a mess when your ego's involved and the ego's made the mess. So a lot of companies, you know, that I think, and this was my problem, is my ego was involved, and I knew what I was doing, and I'm a popular person, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't the case, right? You still have to know where I'm at. So many people also, when it comes to their business, is they want to drive traffic to their website or drive traffic to their store or whatever they have. And my analogy to that is it's kind of like that lemonade stand you had as a kid. Your only option to sell any lemonade is anybody that comes up and down your street. And if you don't have a busy street, you're not going to have a busy day. And so what I tell people is rather than drive traffic to your lemonade stand, move your lemonade stand where people are thirsty. So have it on an area where there's a bunch of people around, or whatever that is for your business, and you'll have the sales and the traffic. And that's really what it boils down to. You can spend lots of money trying to drive likes and views to your page, but is that actually getting you sales? And that's what it boils down to. Are you making money? Can you make money? Now, so many businesses and companies I work with, they want to complain about the inflation, the cost of things, the government. Inflation has gone up since the very beginning. It's not like it has ever not gone up. It is going up. Things cost more. They're always going to cost more. People make more. Like, that's part of it, right? But you have to do things differently. More eyes are going to your phone, so you need to do more advertising on your phone or whatever it is. But the thing is, if you have something you're going to sell, you just have to put that in front of the right people. So back when I was a sports massage therapist, here's why I had to put myself in the sports massage world. In massage school, you had to go through the clinic where anybody came in the door, you had to do 50 massages. Anybody came in, you had to work on them, right? And I remember this lady came in and I could smell the cigarette smoke on her. And as I was massaging her back and I'd wipe my hands on my little white towel, the towel was turning yellow from the cigarettes the nicotine coming out of her pores. It disgusted me. And I thought, there's no athletes in this world that smoke. I mean a few, but right? That way I don't have to experience that nasty time again, is if I just somehow can figure out how to work on athletes only. And not only, did I want to work on athletes, I was an athlete. I have been an athlete, so I knew most of the people. I knew what they were going through as far as aches and pains of their training, the racing, so I could relate better to them also. But that's the niche I put myself in, and then I had to market to that business. I was very successful doing it. It was just very hard on my body. So then to really get into the athlete market, I had to know where they were going to be, had to market to them. I knew most of them, but I also had to, I took a few athletes who were popular in the social world, and I would cut them a really good deal and have them help promote me in my service. And that was really a game changer for me, was just bringing those people in to help me promote. Most companies I go into to help them, a lot of times they don't know what the problem is, why the problem's there. They just feel like they should be doing better with the amount of work they're putting in. And within a few minutes, I can usually narrow it down. Sometimes it takes longer. And what I tell them is attitude reflects leadership. Whoever's in charge, whatever their attitude is, whatever they come to work, like that trickles down to the lowest person on the pole, right? And so a lot of times it is a relationship. Most people that leave a company or a job, it's a direct relationship to their supervisor, right? And I've seen it time and time again, and a lot of times it's necessary, a lot of times they want it that way, but that's usually the case. Usually, whoever's in charge is not fully in charge, it's someone else that's telling them what to do, and that's a big problem. It's not only just a leader who's not fully in charge, it's also, it's a lot of a leader who's all over the place, who doesn't have clear vision or goal, and they're changing directions. Poor communication is a big part of businesses failing, families failing, relationships failing. Everything fails, it's a breakdown of communication. I've been a poor communicator for years. I'm still not the best, but also know to ask or say what I want to say when I need to say it. And it takes away the guesswork. It takes away that storm on the horizon that you don't know if it's coming because they're mad at you, or the things you make up in your head. But I think it's important to just have that clear whatever it is you want to use to communicate, whether it be text or email, like whatever it is, break it down. I've had lots of lots of father and daughter businesses, several, believe it or not, and it's like the daughter's ready to step up or the son's ready to step up and the parent's not ready to let it go, but they're ready to let it go. You know what I mean? Like they're just over managing. I don't like the time micromanaging. I like the term over managing, because a lot of people will do that and they have to just tell people what to do and let them do it. It's as simple. People either succeed or fail. And I think it's people that are good for the right role, without the supervision, they will excel. People that need supervision, they're probably not in the right spot. They're just in the wrong position. They're the wrong person for the job. So to wrap up, your mission statement should be what you're about, right? So Amazon's very successful because they've actually helped people with a need, they're solving a problem. And then 2020, they've excelled because they just help more and more and more people, right? You can like them or don't like them, they're successful. But it comes down to, whether you're, if you break it down to sales, everything comes down to a sale, right? If you have an apple that you buy for 10 cents, you sell for $1, that's great. That's great business. But then how do you get people who want apples to buy the apple, right? It comes down to that simple. But if you have all those dots checked off, that line's going where it needs to go, you should be able to just stop and analyze your situation. I think so many people won't stop and analyze what's actually happening within their business. You should know every bit of dollar that comes in, every dollar that goes out. Same with your household. What's your household budget? Too many people just make money and spend money and they have no idea what it costs to run their household. It's that simple. Numbers in, numbers out. It's the same with calories too. All right, so if you feel like you're in a position where you should be doing better, either making more money, more sales, whatever it is, you're just tired of spinning your wheels, look at your mission, look at your resources, look at your communication, look at everything and break it down. Circle, give yourself, reward or a grade as how you are on those items. And just be honest with yourself. If this has helped you in any way or you need more clarity on this, comment below or send me an email. All my information's listed below.